What's up?
Hey, Lexi. How's it going?
It's all right. How are you?
Oh, not too bad. I just wanted to talk to you because it was, again, not really up to going into like a dinner rush standard. And I mean, I got onto the make line and we had no pans prepped. We had barely any twists prepped. And I know that, it got a little crazy there, but I know that you were not prepared at all. And I'm sorry, but that was the last straw. Okay, I've gotta let you go.
The reason that the make line wasn't prepared the way that you wanted it was because the dinner rush started at 3 o'clock.
I know when it started. It started about 3:30. And I get that. But even so, it was just not done. I mean, I know that you got a little busy a little earlier, for sure. I get that. But, I mean, prep wasn't complete. The make line wasn't stocked.
So what exactly wasn't complete about prep?
Just what I said. We had 2 pans.
Because I had used all of them.
How many pans did you have prepped? It wasn't that busy of a day.
I had like 12 or 15 prepped. And by the time that rush hit, I had used all of them before you even got there.
And twists as well?
Twists and bites, both.
Okay,
I had done at least a tray of each for bites and twists. I had done a tray of BP for both. And at least a tray and a half for pans.
I mean, if you want me to look back on the cameras, if you're objecting that strongly, then I'll look back on the cameras and see what exactly happened. But I mean, on top of that, I mean, I get to the store and I jump on make line. You had one order in the oven, and I know, like, you were working on the next order, but you went over on ovens, grabbed the one thing out of the oven, and then went to the bathroom. It's like, during the middle of a dinner rush, that's unacceptable. It's just
Me
unacceptable.
Using the bathroom?
Yeah, no, you can't go out of the kitchen during a dinner rush. I mean, unless it's like an emergency.
Well, considering that I told you that I was
gone to the bathroom before dinner rush happened. I mean, it's common sense almost. Like, we are the busiest during these times. You need to be prepared to be on the make line during those times.
So I had told you that I was on a medication that upsets my stomach. I did my absolute best to not soil my pants like I had on Saturday. And it's unacceptable that I went to the bathroom.
You're telling me that going to the bathroom at that moment was an emergency?
Yes.
Okay, then fine.
Otherwise, I wouldn't have gone to the bathroom, Derek. If I didn't necessarily need to, I wouldn't have.
Lexi, it's not just this one time. It's a recurring issue. Like, it's not. I'm not getting on your case just about tonight. This was the last straw. Okay, and I've talked to you multiple times about this, and then on top of that, you're giving Lori attitude as soon as she walks through the door, which is just like, come on.
She repeated herself 3 times. I had said okay 3 times.
You didn't respond to her.
Yes, I did.
She did not hear you.
Yeah, I did respond to her.
Well, she didn't hear you. That doesn't mean that you have the right to give her an attitude and snap at her.
All I said to her was, okay. That's literally, I said a singular word. I said, okay. Just like that. Because she had repeated herself 3 times, and I had repeated myself 3 times. So yes, I did snap at Lori. I'm not going to lie to you about that. I did. Because she had said it 3 times. Marilee's trying to talk to me about something else. So I snapped. Yes, I did snap at her. And not once had you talked to me about my bathroom breaks or anything like that. Other than...
No, I have not spoken to you about that, but I have spoken to you about just basically being prepared, first off, and being on the make line and actually like being present during dinner rushes. That's when we need to be on point, is like during dinner rushes. We have a lot of things going on. Everybody needs to be on their A game. And it's not something that I should even really have to talk to you about. It's just kind of how it is. Like, I mean, you've worked here for quite a long time.
I've worked here for a month and a half. First of all,
that's
second
plenty
of all,
of time to get the idea of what a dinner rush is.
Yeah, I understand that, but also, I was supposed to have help at 3 o'clock, and I would have been able to make sure that everything in the make line was stocked.
No, you wouldn't have, because, like you said, it started at 3:30. So if I had gotten there at 3:30, I would have been on make line, and you would have been on ovens.
Yep.
And I would have been doing all of the prep as I needed it for dinner rush.
So what prep are you talking about other than pans and twists and bites? Other than that, what wasn't prepped?
Well, like I said, the make line wasn't completely stocked up. I mean, it wasn't horrible.
I'm asking you what was missing. What did you have to keep going back for? I'm asking what wasn't in the make line that was
I didn't have to go back and forth for anything that was supposed to be under the make line.
So then what wasn't prepped other than pans and twists?
I'm just going off of what I can see. Like, I just know that what a full make line looks like was not what was under there.
So you're assuming based on when you came in and what you noticed wasn't there?
I've seen a full make line for 10 years. I've been doing this, Lexi. I know what a full make line looks like, and that was not it.
So I'm just not understanding what was missing.
There was nothing missing. It was not full. It was not ready to go for a dinner rush. The point isn't like, oh, do we have at least one of everything? That's not the point. We need the make line full.
Yes, I'm understanding
it needs to have all of the things on the checklist that need to be in there. All of those things need to be in there. And yes, I understand if there's one missing because you had to pull it out, but that's not what happened.
I guess I'm just a bit confused on what was missing that was so important that I'm being fired over it.
Let me put it this way, Lexi. If you want to keep your job, then we need to switch your shift, because opening is just not working out for you. It's too much, because an opener needs to be able to do all of these things while being there alone and making food, because it's typically not very busy during the day. They have time to do all of these things. You don't have the hustle that is required for a morning shift. I don't know how better to put it. So if you want to give closing shifts a try, or if you want to become a CSR and just work through like a dinner rush shift and just come in as kind of a helper, that would be less pay, but you could do that if you would like. We'll give that a try. Or like I said, you could try closing shifts if that would be better for you. I'll train you how to close. I think it might be a little bit easier because I mean, really all you have to focus on is cleaning.
So the reason
mean,
that
there's-
I'm not a closer is because of my ride situation.
You can always get a ride home with a driver.
Okay.
I will say that most of the time we'll have a driver that will be able to give you a ride home.
But I'm not going to make somebody drive a half an hour out of their way to drive me home. That doesn't make sense for somebody who's getting paid much less than I am.
I'm sorry, you broke up there for a minute. But I understand, I think.
And the reason I wasn't a CSR is because I need the money.
Well, I think if you want, I don't know what else to tell you. I mean, this is just, I can't keep going like this. It's like almost every day, there's something that just goes wrong, and it's like I need a day off too. You know, like I can't. I'm not gonna come in every day to a shit show. I'd rather just come in and do the job. You know, like I'd rather come in and open the store and make sure that it's good and ready to go. Because now, not only am I doing your job that you're getting paid for and you're not, but I'm also doing my job and I'm not getting the bonuses that I should be getting because our numbers are so out of whack. You know, I know you also haven't been weighing everything, which is another big problem. I told you that we have some serious food issues. You haven't been weighing things.
I'm not the only one who hasn't been weighing things. Let's just make that clear.
Well, you are the only one that I've noticed is double topping cheese. You are the only one that I've noticed is significantly over topping things. And I've spoken to you specifically about the weighing things.
Yep.
So I guess I will leave it up to you if you want to. If you want to stay on as a CSR and come in and help, I can have you on some mornings at like 11 o'clock as kind of the helper. But if we're paying somebody $17 an hour to be a shift leader, they need to be able to do the job. And it just hasn't been working out. $17 an hour is like the most anybody is supposed to be able to make at a Domino's without being a salaried employee. And you were given it right off the bat. So like we do have some high expectations of you. That's, I will grant you that. But I mean, that's part of how it is. Normally we hire people on as CSRs and they work their way up to being a shift runner. But I mean, I think a month and a half is quite a long time. I think that you should be able to, I mean, you've been full-time, you've been working virtually every day, like 6, 7, or 5 or 6 days a week. I mean, if you really think that we haven't given you enough time to get things kind of,
one order in, but I don't
Sorry?
want to do a pan.
A pan? So, okay.
I got the pan. You have one pan made.
Yeah.
What do I do?
So it should have the toppings on there. The first thing that goes on there is the shredded provolone cheese. And then the second thing is sauce and then pizza cheese. Just double check yep, just follow that. Yep. Sorry, Lori, I have covering make line and she's still getting the hang of stuff.
Mm-hmm. So you're either firing me or downgrading me. Is that what I'm hearing?
A demotion. Or if you can figure out closing shift runner, we can give that a try.
Can I give you a call tomorrow and let you know?
Yeah, that's totally fine.
Cool.
Have a good night. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Sure you are, you douchebag.